All right. Good morning and welcome to a Coach's Corner. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do at university?
Good morning, Titans. I am Ms McCann, and I'm an environmental science teacher, and I am also your Student Government Association advisor and proudly the senior class of 2020 council advisor.
And some people might be wondering why I am doing a Coach's Corner with someone who's not officially a coach or someone who's not officially involved with athletics. So I want to go ahead and answer that question for everybody because what I have done this week, and maybe I should have answered this question the other day when I interviewed Miss Cherry, but I'm trying to do some coaches corners with some teachers who are um, just the heart and soul of what makes university university. Whether we're talking just walking around and people who just live orange and this color and the spirit and just people that make university what it is. And so that's Tiffany McCann in my eyes, anyways. And not just because you're SGA, but because in my eyes, everything you do is about the you. Hear that? I was a poet. um,
that was that was
yeah,
good.
that's good, right? So to answer everyone's question, that's why Mrs. McCann is on Coach's Corner because uh, university would not be what it is without Mrs. McCann. They're doing everything that she does. So yeah, sorry, I know that was a little side note, but I wanted to get that out there and at the same time give you props for everything that you do
Mhm.
for university, which hopefully will get into that at least just a little bit during this coach's corner. I know that we don't have enough time in the day to talk about all of that. Um, but anyway, so yeah, thank you for being here and thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you. I'm so humbled right now hearing you say that, and I can't say enough the times that you, myself, and Sophia have met to make sure that events have happened. And I really feel blessed that we're the three musketeers in a way to put activities, athletics together, and really work hard to do amazing things for our Titans. And so thank you for that. That means those props mean a lot coming from you. Thank you a lot.
Well, thank you.
So lots of
Yeah.
love.
How long have you been here in the county?
So this is I'm finishing my sixth year. I came in the summer of 2014. I moved from West Virginia, where I had taught for 11 years. I just decided to move down here to be closer to my mom. My sister at the time had moved to Alaska, and my dad had moved to Virginia. And so it was kind of B and I, and everybody was everywhere. So it made sense to come here. And I had an interview, and DeVito was like, "Yeah, come here. I want to hire you." I'm like, "Well, can I visit Orange City first? I've never been there before." And he was like, "Yeah, but you're still going to sign." He was like, "You're going to love it. That's where I grew up, and you're going to love it." And he was right. God knew what He was doing, bringing Braden and I here. I really feel very blessed to be part of the Titan family, and that's truly what it is. We're such a young school. I came in the fourth, well, at the end of the fourth year, so I started the fifth year at the school. And I've just watched it grow so much, and the right people being where they need to be at the right time to ensure that that school has so many traditions. And I see the school spirit growing. So I'm really, really blessed to have made that choice to move here.
Right, right. And I know you just mentioned Braden. So tell us a little bit. Yeah, tell us a little bit about not just tell us a little bit about Braden, but also tell us a little bit about if you can do this. without getting emotional, tell
Oh,
us a little bit about what it's been like being a mother of a senior this year.
I
But
will do my best.
you don't have to do that if you can't.
Well, I feel this is the second time I've had the opportunity to be the senior sponsor. I was the class of 2018 senior sponsor, and I still love those kids. And I feel that regardless of if this was Braden's senior year or not, that I would be working just as hard to be sure that the kids get as many as these things that they've looked forward to and been told that they would have for so long, regardless. But having also that being a mom is real hard too, because not only do I feel my kids getting robbed. When I say kids, I mean Titans. I don't mean the one I gave birth to. They're my kids. I feel like they're getting robbed, but I feel like as a mom, selfishly, so am I. I wanted to see him enjoy senior countdown and have those balloons drop. I wanted to hear his name at academic awards. I wanted to see him walk across the graduation. Hopefully that still happens, but we don't know. We don't know what the social distancing is going to mean even in July. I wanted I wanted to give him prom. I wanted to give him that Titan ever after. So it's been hard. It's also hard keeping up being a teacher at home. I'm not the best at technology. As I shared with you, I've moved my camera around I don't know how many times to try to find the right background or whatever. I'm not a tech savvy person. I'm old school. Um, so it's been hard to be a distance learning teacher and what that means and keep him motivated, because it is tough. It is tough to say, hey, you got to take a shower, you need to get dressed, you need to sign on at this time, while I'm doing the same thing motivating my students. So all of that is really hard, and I feel so much for all you seniors and the parents, and I just can't thank the community enough for the way they've just loved on these seniors and continue to love on them. So I don't know if I answered all your question, but I didn't cry. So I was trying my best not to cry. But yeah, it's very, very hard. And I know that we aren't the only two, everybody's feeling it. And I love that we've come together, especially the number of parents who also have seniors at university. How we've just kind of become this amazing family, and working together to make sure we're all okay, and then we're all feeling love, and none of our kids are feeling like they're missing too much. And I hope that all of you seniors out there are getting that same kind of love. And if you're not, email me and I'll make sure that I send you love like that every day because I want you
Right,
to feel that. So
right.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something that I have found from talking to some of the seniors, um, is that their mindset. I've just been super impressed with their mindset. In the live Instagram that I was doing on Monday nights. I asked the question to all of them, um, how they think this is going to affect their future selves of the class of 2020, and all of them had such great answers on how they think this will help them and all of their classmates prepare for whatever it is to come, whatever their professional career is going to throw at them, whatever hardships their relationships are going to throw at them, how it's going to help them prepare for that. And I am just so amazed at how maturely they can look at this. I have no doubt that the class of 2020 is, I mean, I hope I'm around long enough
Yeah.
to truly see where these guys are going to be in 40 years. Just, I think we're all going to be amazed by it. So to, to, to Braden and to you and to all the class of 2020 and to their parents, I mean, you guys all rock, and I can't wait to see. So, yeah.
He's
Um,
been my strength for sure. He's handled it so much better than me. He's followed the creed better than his mama. He showed
Right.
strength and courage when there were, I will admit, the first probably 3 weeks, I cried almost every day because it was learning new things. I was scared. I didn't know what was going to happen. I just kept watching, all the dates for the activities that we planned for them. Just kind of, it's like, it's not going to happen. Like, there's no way this isn't going to happen. And for me, I think everyone knows I love the beach, and not being able to go there was really hard. Just all those things, I was kind of a mess. And he would just be like, Mom, it's okay. We're together. We're both healthy. I'm still going to school. And, big shout outs, and all of his teachers have been amazing, but, Vickery, he's on with Vickery right now every day. He is just amazing with what he is doing with those kids, Sorrow and Cherry. I really feel that even though they haven't been in their classrooms, that these kids are still going to do amazing on their AP test. And that is not to take away from any other teachers. It's just, I know he has talked to them, and if he needs them, they're right there. And big kudos out to all of our teachers for just being there for our kids, and he's good. He's happy. He's healthy. We've been blessed with that, but I did have a hard time with it for a while.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So our
Um,
kids are amazing.
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our not just our kids, but all 2020. We'll be good to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we got off track a little bit. My
Well,
fault.
we just love each other, Matt. This is what we do when I come
Yeah.
visit your office too.
Yeah, we do. We'll try and get back on track. I know you already mentioned this a little bit earlier. Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in southern West Virginia in a little town called Hamlin. Literally had one stoplight, and it no longer exists.
The
so uh,
stoplight doesn't?
the
So now
stoplight
there's no stoplights?
no, there's just a stop sign. So it went from a stoplight to a four-way stop. And now that school actually, due to the way West Virginia was redoing their schools, because a lot of the schools are very old, it's consolidated. I want to say in 2005 or 2006, it became Lincoln County High School and consolidated with all the other schools in the county. So that's sad, due to population loss and those sorts of things. You hate to see your hometown, shrink like that. But that's where I grew up, and we were the Bobcats. So and I went to Hamlin Elementary, Hamlin Junior High. Yes, I'm old enough to have gone to a junior high, and Hamlin High School. So we were all the
Okay.
Bobcats, blue and
And
gold.
and before high school, what type of sports or activities did you participate in?
So in third grade, I became a cheerleader. And so I was a cheerleader. And back then, our elementary schools, they actually, like, we cheered for elementary. We didn't have like the buddy league kind of system that's in place now, or the travel ball or travel cheer. That didn't exist. I cheered for Hamlin Elementary. And then I also participated in basketball for, I think, 3 years, like third, fourth, and fifth grade, or fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, something like that. Really more to make my dad happy. I like watching basketball, but I never really liked playing it. I like shooting, but I didn't like playing defense and having everybody up on me. That isn't something that I enjoyed. I like watching it though. That's pretty much what I did before high school, was cheer and basketball.
Okay, and then once you got into high school, what did you end up
So
doing?
I continued cheering, and I actually was lucky enough to be captain my sixth grade, ninth grade, and 12th grade years. So that I'm really proud of that. And cheerleading, anybody that knows about cheer, it is an all year sport. It's really tough to try to have another sport, and I always felt like the kids who tried to do that, they never got to truly give all to one. And now maybe people are able to do that. I'm not taking away from those amazing athletes that can do that, but with cheer and the way it was for me at that time period, it was too hard to do more than one. I was also in band. I played clarinet from fifth grade through my junior year. And my junior year, we switched to block scheduling. And the band director said that we had to have a whole block each semester for band. Well, that meant I could take less classes. And at the time, I very much wanted to be a doctor and wanted to take all the science and math classes that I could. And I didn't have it in my schedule to give her 2 whole blocks, if that makes sense. So, hi, puppy. And I told you that's what my dog would do.
Yeah.
That's fine. But yeah, so that's I quit playing. I quit the band at my junior year. So pretty much I was a cheerleader.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Um, and and then where'd you end up going to college at? Hey, stop it.
I went to West Virginia State College, and it's now West Virginia State University. And I continued being a cheerleader there. Also, I worked to become captain. Well, co-captain. We actually shared the responsibility my senior year there. And I also played tennis my freshman year of college. I wasn't aware, this is how little of a small town I went to. I wasn't aware that cheerleading tryouts were in April for the next year, for the next school year. So I didn't try out for cheer. I didn't even know to do that. And I was playing tennis with a friend, and the coach just happened to come by the tennis courts and said, "Hey, are you are you going to try out for our team?" And I was like, no, like I'm not a tennis player. He was like, "No, you're like actually pretty good. You want to come to workouts?" And okay, like I don't know anybody. I'm at college. And so I actually walked onto the tennis team my freshman year of college. And I loved it. But then that fall in October, they have what's called pickups for cheer. And I tried out and made it. And football season and tennis season are at the same time. And again, there's no way to, for me anyway, again, still going, trying to be a medical student and try to do cheer. And I also did ROTC for 2.5 years in college as well. I couldn't balance tennis with that. And that wasn't a love. That was just an accident. And I wish I would have stayed with it. I think that tennis is one of those lifetime sports. It's not like I can really stunt and do back handsprings anymore, but I could still go play tennis and hit a golf ball and do those sorts of things. So maybe I should have kept with that. But yeah, cheer has been my love for my whole life. So
And that was at West Virginia University?
West Virginia State University.
West Virginia
Not,
State
yeah,
University.
yeah,
Okay.
yep.
All right. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear because again, I
No.
was being protected from the mailman.
Hey, I
So,
understand.
yeah.
I told you when the trash guy comes, I'm probably going to hear the same from my little man.
Right, right. Okay. And I would imagine we can all guess the answer to this. How do you feel that the extracurricular activities, how how important are they to students in their high school life as far as helping them not just get through everyday life, but helping them grow as far as into adulthood or into that next phase of life after high school?
I feel that extracurricular is very important. Whether we're talking about sports, we're talking about art, we're talking about band, any of those things. I know I'm missing things right now, but any of those extra things that kids can fall in love with and help develop who they are, find their sense of belonging, have that group and put something of themselves into some sort of project, I think is amazing. And again, like putting my SGA hat on, that's why we strive so hard to do a variety of activities on campus to try to get as many of the different types of students who we are blessed to have on our campus involved and get their voice out there. Find something that they're interested in. I'm a science teacher and I can pretend all day long that everyone loves science, and I'm fooling myself if I think that that's the most important thing to a kid and into their development, because it's not. But I can use this incentive of playing a sport, of being part of the band, of being in some sort of club as, hey, if you do well on this, then you're going to get to go participate in this thing that you love and be part of this project or this group that you want to be a part of. And I think that's very important. I also feel student athletes are gifted this amazing way to become planners and have organization skills and be able to manage time, be time managers. I think that that's all really important, and like self-discipline, that as a science teacher, sure, I can have them do a science binder and show them why that's important, but for them to be able to go to school, maybe go to work, go to practice, be ready for their game on Friday night, all of that, it just happens. We're teaching them, but it happens for them, and they can take those skills and make them life skills into adulthood for the rest of their lives. So I find extracurricular, whatever you want it to be, sports, band, whatever, all of those things teach those important skills that, in my opinion, can only be taught and really learned through practice. And that's what sports gives to our students. And I'm blessed that I was a student athlete for sure.
Right, right. And I think you've already answered this next question, but looking back now, are there any extracurricular things that you wish that you would have spent more time on, when you were in high school?
Yes. Had I known I was going to be a teacher, not a doctor, I would have done things a lot differently. Um, I would have loved to have been a swimmer. I love swimming. I love being in the water. I'm actually not that bad at it. I being in West Virginia and going to the small school that I did, that wasn't even a thing. But maybe if I had gone to a bigger school or had been in Florida, maybe I would have had the opportunity to even see, what that meant for me. But I love swimming, and I would have loved to have been able to learn more and learn more of the technical side of it. And seeing where that would have gone. And again, it's all those lifestyle sports, like, your
Right.
tennis, your bowling, your golf, swimming, all those things that we can still do as we get older. I think those are so important to instill in our kids. Running, all of those different things, and just get people healthy and make it part of their daily routine. I think that that's super important.
Right, right. And what is one thing that you hope that your students, whether we're talking in the classroom or part of SGA or whatever it is, what is one thing you hope your students get from being in a Miss McCann led activity?
I hope they feel the love, because it all comes from here. Um, the only thing that I get out of those events that we do is seeing their smiles. And that's why I do it. I hope that they see that, whether it's a lab that we're doing or a video that I have worked really hard to find to show them that they think is boring as all get out, or that it's a pep rally, or prom or whatever. I hope that they know that those things really took me time, um, and planning, and that it means a lot to me, and it comes straight from my heart. I hope that they feel loved and appreciated when they're a part of my classroom or an activity that I've been a part of planning. That's what I would want them to get from that.
Okay, I think that's great. Um, what's the best part about working at university?
Oh, the people, that hands down the people. And I don't just mean like coworkers like you make it easy and you make it worthwhile, but our kids, our administrators, our campus advisors. There's so many times where I'll come to school and it's like I haven't really, maybe slept the best the night before, or just something else is going on in my personal life, and I try to walk through the bus loop, the parking lot bus loop doors, and leave it behind. And sometimes I have to do that, but most of the time there's a kid or there's a coworker or someone on the other side that says something friendly or smiles or whatever. And it's like, oh, this is why we do this. This is why it's all about the you, because we are all about each other. And I get chills like thinking about that, because I miss that. I miss seeing everybody's faces and knowing that if I'm having a bad day, someone's probably going to see something that's going to make it better. But yeah, definitely the people. Like I said, we are truly a Titan family, and I see us just growing and growing more through this crazy social distancing. That how important we are to each other. I feel like we're becoming even closer, and really having that support for one another. So definitely the people. That's the
Right,
best thing about the you.
right. And to those people that are watching this, whether it's students, parents, community people, whoever that are watching this, what would you like to say to them in this unique time?
Stay positive. Um, stay healthy, live your life, try not to have fear, but be cautious. I also would like to take this time to thank the community for their love for our kids during all this time, especially to those who donated for the surprise that the student council is giving to our seniors on May 21st. I can't say thank you enough. I put out a simple request, and within less than a day, maybe a day and a half, I had what I needed and a little bit more to give this amazing gift from the senior class to the senior class. So, thank you. But yeah, just everybody just stay safe and just say kind things to each other, because we don't know what's going on, at home behind closed doors. And the fear that some people might be having, like I shared, I definitely had it the first few weeks, and I'm trying to get rid of that. There are still some people who feel that way, and we need to be respectful of where everybody's at, and that everyone's dealing with what we're experiencing differently. And it's tougher for others. So let's give that love and that sunshine, and just be there for each other.
Right, right. Um, and just some, actually a couple of questions that were not on the list that I sent to you, so you didn't get a chance to prepare for them.
Okay.
One is how 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 early in advance do you start planning for next year's prom?
Now.
Now?
Yeah. So when prom, actually, that's a little bit of a fib. So this year's prom was supposed to be May the 2nd.
Right.
So around end of February, first part of March, of 2019, I already had the date for May 2nd, 2020. So you have to go ahead and do that about a little more than a year in advance. For homecoming, as soon as it's over, we go ahead and we start planning for the next. Now, I do have to wait for you and Coach Kels as to what that football schedule looks like, and
Right.
what dates we have. But as soon as that comes out, then it's like boom, boom, boom. We get the fireworks on. We contact the city. This is when we would like to have our parade. We have different meetings to prepare for that. Getting the DJs and the other vendors on board. All of that is more than a year in advance for both of those events.
And after these events happen, you and I both always hear questions as to why did this happen or why did that happen. So for people that want to get involved to help the direction of these things, what is the best thing for them to do?
Do you mean
The
students?
students, the
Okay.
students, yeah.
So the best thing for them to do is to join leadership class. Right now, as far as I know, over the last couple of years, I've had 2 sections, and those sections have been 5th and 7th period. And anyone can join leadership class. Now, with leadership class, because you did mention those events, there are some outside of school hour times that are involved with being a part of that class. Like our evening pep rally, our ball games, Saturday parade. So it is a big commitment. It's not just being in Ms McCann's science class and you're there for the 46 minutes Monday through Friday. There are some other things attached to that, as well as giving up some lunchtime, and giving up, if you have me 5th period, you may have to give up your 6th and 7th period for a pep rally or a volleyball game or whatever we're doing. So there's a lot that goes with that, but definitely joining leadership class would be the way to get involved. And if you want to become an officer for your class, there's another process with that. You need to be active in your student council for a whole year. So let's say you're a sophomore and you want to be class president your junior or senior year. You would have needed to be involved in Mr. Hott's sophomore student council this school year, and then reach out to us for an application to apply to be an officer for next year. If you weren't active, it's really hard to say, oh, now I want to be an officer of something I've never even been a part of. So if that's something that you're interested in, then definitely being involved in our student councils. And then joining the leadership class is absolutely, you're going to be involved and make those decisions every day.
Right.
We're actually still meeting every Thursday at 3 o'clock on Teams. We meet, and we have actually we've sent representatives to talk with Dr. Fritz to make some really important decisions that he then shares with the rest of the district, along with other SGA groups around the county. We've met with Dr. Jones 2 or 3 times to talk about things that are going on. So if you are interested in truly being a voice on campus, leadership class would be where I would direct you, so that you would be involved in that every day. But then if that doesn't fit into your schedule, then definitely be an active member, not just pay your dues and come as you want, but an active member in your grade level student council. Those would be the ways I would say. And we welcome you. We want everybody. We just want to make sure we stay with that. It's a lot of responsibility. It's time consuming. It's stressful. But if you are interested, you won't feel those things, because you'll be making a difference and your voice will truly be heard. And with that, like a little plug with leadership, I have watched kids join the class because they thought it was easy A, and you can talk to any of my kids, it's not. And then, but it's a worthwhile one. Or they've done it because their friends are in there or something like that. And before you know it, this kid will be like, "Hey, can I speak at Sneak Peek? Can I be the MC, the DJ, or the whatever? Oh, hey, Ms McCann, can I introduce the football team at the pep rally? Hey, I think I kind of like to be a main MC at this next event." I watch them grow. Sometimes it's baby steps, sometimes it's a little bit more, but there really has not been a student who's embraced that class who hasn't grown in some way. And it's amazing to see them. And this is the first class where I'll have someone in there all 4 years. And then next year's juniors, or this year's juniors, next year's seniors will be the same way. And it is so amazing to watch those kids grow. They don't even realize that they're doing it. So I would, ask anyone who wants to be a voice at UHS, please contact your counselor and see if you can't fit that into your schedule, because it is an amazing class. We really do a lot. It's not just spirit weeks or pep rallies. Like I said, we reach out and or we are sought after, I should say, from administration and from even the superintendent for our opinions or our voice to be heard. So I think that it's an amazing class, and it prepares you for other classes. We have to go around and just speak to classrooms, to sell wristbands or to whatever it is that we're doing. Those are little times where you're speaking in front of peers, and that no longer becomes a hard thing to do. So yeah, leadership. It's
Right.
awesome, and I'm so happy for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And now
I know I could talk about it forever.
the tough question.
Yeah.
If you could have dinner with any 4 people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Woo, okay, no, I wasn't prepared for this one. My grandmother would be number one. I'm actually named after her. My middle name, Lillian, is after my grandmother. And she died in 1981. So I don't remember her, even though that will kill my mom when she sees this interview. She wants me to remember her. I don't. Definitely her. I kind of think that I would want Abe Lincoln. I think that he lived in such a difficult time for the United States that I would want his perspective with some of the things that we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
Right. I think that he could really teach us a lot and maybe get us back on track. So Abe Lincoln and my grandma. Gosh. I don't know. I mean, I want to say my grandfather, but I feel right now we need answers to things, and I would want it to kind of be that kind of dinner. But yeah, I would definitely love to see my grandfather again and have him there. And oh
The
gosh,
fourth one's
somebody.
the hard one.
Yeah, somebody that was a doctor during the Spanish flu, maybe, and be like, "What are we doing wrong?"
Right.
You know, yeah, I don't know, Matt. That's tough. So I don't know a fourth one. But yeah, someone who could, give us some kind of direction, because I feel like that's what we need. I feel like things are kind of foggy right now, and if we had some other perspective, um, that history repeats itself kind of thing,
Right. Right.
um, and that would maybe help us to see things differently, and see a brighter future for all of us.
Right.
So I'm sorry I didn't answer that completely, but
Well, you kind of did. You're just not exactly sure who that fourth person would be.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. Well, do you have anything else that you would like to say that we didn't cover?
Just thank you so much for including me in your coach's corner. I've watched several of them, and they've all been amazing. I love how everybody, like you said, take your SGA and teacher hat off and be Tiffany McCann. So hopefully I've done that a little bit. When you talk about the certain events, it's hard for me not to put that hat back on, but
Right.
I hope that people can see another side of me, that I'm not always tense and saying, let's get it, let's move, that I can kind of chill. And you can see, like I told you, you've got the quarantine hair going on. And then I haven't worn makeup since March 6th, actually. And I kind of like it. um, so yeah, just, thank you so much for having me. And I've appreciated, I love seeing your face. It's been a while. So that's
Yeah.
nice too. And
Yeah.
thank you for getting those sticks for us. I appreciate
Oh,
that.
sure. I got more if you need them. So,
Yeah, so that's awesome. Yep.
okay.
Just thank you, everybody, for watching if you've watched this far.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you for your time, and hopefully before too long we'll see you back on campus.
Yeah, that would be nice for
Yeah.
sure. Hopefully, we'll see a lot of you May 21st, our seniors.
Oh,
I'm looking
right.
so forward to that.
Right. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
All right.
thank you, Ms. McCann.
Thank you. Bye.